All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever felt like something else is in the driver's seat of your life? Well, there is. There's this hidden force that's controlling pretty much everything you do: your career, your relationships, even your daily habits. And here's the wild part: it has almost nothing to do with logic. I mean, think about it for a second. We all know what we should be doing, right? We know we should get up earlier, eat better, stop putting things off, be a little more patient with people. The information is there. So why is there this huge disconnect between what we know in our head and what we actually end up doing? And this quote just hits the nail on the head. If knowledge was enough, you'd already be where you want to be. Seriously, if just knowing the right thing to do was the answer, we'd all be crushing it. We'd all be fit, rich, and perfectly happy. But we're not, so clearly something else is pulling the strings. So what is it? What's really driving? Well, here's the uncomfortable truth. The real boss, the one behind the wheel of your life, it isn't your logical planning mind. It's your emotions. They are the ones calling the shots, especially when things get tough. Just look at this breakdown. On the left side, you've got everything we think is in control: our well-laid plans, our ambitious goals, our good intentions. But then look at the right side. That's who really has veto power: fear, doubt, the siren song of comfort, a sudden burst of anger. These feelings are what truly dictate our actions in the moment. And this is why we get stuck. When our emotions are running the show without any direction, we get caught in these loops. We promise ourselves, okay, this time it's different. But then an emotion like fear or just the desire for comfort takes over, and boom, we're right back where we started. It's a pattern driven by feeling, not by logic. And I really want to be crystal clear on this. This has nothing to do with how smart you are. It's not about a lack of willpower. It's about a lack of a specific skill: emotional control. And the good news is, it's a skill that anyone can learn. But you know what? Most of us were never taught how. Okay, so if our emotions are running the show, where in the world did they get their script? Where do these powerful automatic reactions actually come from? Well, the answer starts a long, long time ago, in our past. It usually starts with some kind of painful experience. Maybe you were embarrassed as a kid, or you failed at something you poured your heart into. Then your brain creates a meaning from that pain, a little story like, "I'm not good enough." And if that story gets repeated enough, it hardens into a core belief. And now, that belief runs like a piece of software in the background of your mind, controlling how you react to things today. So let that sink in for a second. When you hesitate before taking a risk, or you feel that familiar doubt creeping in, you're probably not reacting to what's happening right now. You're reacting to the ghost of an old experience. Your body is literally replaying an old feeling. And this explains so much. It's why two people can face the exact same setback and have completely different outcomes. Person one, who's being run by that old program, just collapses. They complain, they feel defeated. But person two, who has a different internal program, they adapt, they learn, they actually use the setback to get stronger. Same event, different emotional response, totally different life path. Okay, so this brings us to the good part, the solution. The way we break free from these automatic, programmed reactions is by developing the power of choice. And that power has a name: emotional intelligence. And I love this definition because it's so practical. Emotional intelligence isn't about being some kind of robot with no feelings. It's about being the director of your emotions. Can you summon focus when you feel scattered? Can you choose curiosity instead of anger in a disagreement? That is emotional intelligence in action. And this is so, so important. This is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't feel things like fear or anger. Those feelings are useful signals. The problem is when they show up at the wrong time, or they're a 10 on the intensity scale when you only needed a 2. The goal is to direct your emotions, not deny them. And once you learn to do this, everything starts to change. You stop having those knee-jerk reactions. You stop being a puppet of your past. Instead, you start responding with real intention. And as a result, you just naturally become more consistent, more focused, and way more resilient when life throws you a curveball. This right here is the ultimate shift in perspective. You go from having this victim mindset of, "Oh, why is this happening to me?" And you flip the script. You start asking an empowered question: okay, what can I do with this? That one little change in questioning changes the entire game. Look, at the end of the day, it all boils down to this. You can read all the self-help books, you can make all the vision boards you want, But if your deep internal emotional patterns don't change, your life won't either. Your inner world is always creating your outer world. So the question you have to leave with isn't, what should I do next? Because honestly, you probably already know that. The real fundamental question is this: are you willing to do the work to change the emotional programs running inside of you? Because until you change the cause, you can never really change the effect.